जुष्टुवागुंसस्तनूभिः यशेम देवहितं यदायुः स्वस्ति न इन्द्रो वृद्धश्रवाः स्वस्ति नः पूषा विश्ववेदाः स्वस्ति नस्तार्क्ष्यो अरिष्ठनेमिः स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्दधातु ओम शांति शांति शांति. We are discussing the last few verses of the Upanishad. ग्रंथमभ्यस्य मेधावी ज्ञान विज्ञान तत्परः फलालमिवधान्यार्थी त्यजेत् ग्रंथमशेषतः. So may you discard your Shastra Vasana. So that is indicated by Grantha. So Tyajet Grantham Asheshataha. So without any residue, may you give up the Shastra Vasana. So that is the implied meaning there. So everything you can't literally take. Tyajet, you have to understand the spirit of the Shastra. The Shastra doesn't want us to identify with just some mere word-based learning nor scholarship. The whole intent of undertaking the study of scriptures is for the sole purpose of recognizing one's own true self for one's own moksha. No other agenda in the pursuit. I want to become a guru, so I will come for Vedanta course. Wrong perspective. Doesn't work. I want to be a scholar, so I will study Vedanta. Okay, you can go to university, no problem. They have Vedanta MA, all that, PhD. Many people have done PhD in Advaita Vedanta, and all good in their own right. We need scholars also to represent Vedanta in the universities. We need people to represent in different areas and different arena. But then if your focus is transformation, then use the Vedanta as a pramana, as a shastra, only to free yourself. Only to free yourself. So many of the acharyas, gurus give this example to know the place of the Shastra. You know that game of pole vaulting. Pole vault. So what do? The sports person will carry a long pole, long stick, and he will run and speed up the momentum, and then he puts the pole onto the ground. It will give him some momentum, then he will give up that pole also and jump on the other side. So Shastra is like that pole. So make use of it. Take the help of the Shastra to go higher and higher and finally transcend the samsara. Finally to give up the samsara. And along with that, all that you were holding on to, Shastra, the sadhanas, all the things become redundant for a jnani. For a jnani, it has no purpose now for himself, in himself. And suppose the shishyas come to him and ask for this knowledge to be given, then the jnanis remember the method, the shastra, the prakriyas, and teach the student so that they can free the person out of compassion. Only truly out of compassion a Mahatma comes into the world to teach. That has been the tradition. That is what Pujya Swamiji, all of the great Mahatmas set a lifestyle for we sannyasis. What is that lifestyle? Dedicated to Shastra Adhyayana and Adhyapana. To share what is being learned, not for you to become some scholar or some sort of to gain name or fame or something like that. Truly for the benefit of the sadhakas, truly to bless this moksha purushartha upon the students through the Shastra Adhyayana. That is what the verse is telling. Now, furthermore, Upanishad is giving one more verse for us to understand the Shastras. Gavamaneka varnanam Kshirasyapyeka varnata Kshiravat pashyate jnanam Linginastu gavam yatha. Now, a very beautiful comparison is given. Gavam aneka varnanam Kshirasya eka varnata. So scriptures are compared to that of cows. Scriptures are compared to cows. Just like there are different colored cows, the Gujarat Gir cows have one color, and in south of India there is another color. In Tamil Nadu, if you go, one color of cows. So different colors of cows are available, but the color of the milk that they give is same, is white. It's one. Similarly, you may come across many scriptures. Now in the course of your Vedanta study, when you systematically undertake, you go through the one text after another, one Upanishad after another. And suppose you have some working knowledge of Sanskrit, you will be in a position to explore some texts on your own also. And today with internet and all of that, so many books on Shastra, translations, all are available. If you superficially look at it, it may seem that different texts have different messages. So 10 Upanishads. Suppose you were to buy the translations of 10 Upanishads, whatever is your regional language, or English commentary, or Kannada, Telugu, Tamil, Hindi, whatever, you may get hold of it and explore. Without a guru, never, without a camp, without listening to any teacher. So suppose you start your self-study process. You will feel that 10 Upanishads are giving 10 opinions on the truth. Or you will feel that one Upanishad is telling 10 perspectives or 10 truths. It may seem like that to you. But it is not like that. Ekavakyata, all Upanishads, all Shastras have the same purport. We must have the eyes to look at it. Sometimes DIY approach will not help you. That's why you need the guidance of an able guru who can extract the Shastra Tatparya for you. Shastra has its own tools to arrive at the message. Shadlinga Vakya Vichara, Upakrama, Upasamhara, all many 6 lingas are there. 6 signs that you must look at in a Upanishad or in a text in order to establish its purport. What is said in the beginning? What is said in the end? Is there any repetition? Is there any repetition? So what is stressed? So all these lingas are analyzed. And then a proficient master arrives at the Shastra Tatparya. So this is done for all Shastras and all Upanishads. And Ekavakyata, the same message is in every Upanishad that is established. In fact, Brahma Sutra, in the Brahma Sutras, Veda Vyasa spends a sutra in order to explain to us that the message of all Upanishads is one, Tattu Samanvayaha. There is a sutra in Brahma Sutra which is doing the Samanvaya, which is discussing that it is single purport of all Upanishads. The message is one. That's what Swamiji quoted in the morning class, no? Ardhavakyena pravakshami yaduktam grantakotibihi. Shankaracharya says, I will just tell you in half a shloka what is being said by grantakotibihi, by crores and thousands of Vedanta texts. And what is that message? One single message. Brahma Satyam Jagan Mithya. Brahman alone is the independent reality. Jagat is dependent on consciousness. Sattvam and Spurti it is borrowing from the Sattvastu, thus it is Mithya. And there is no real difference between the Jiva and Ishvara. Jivo Brahmaiva na paraha. It's not two different entities. May you understand, come to recognize your true nature, which is Sachidananda, is the nature of Ishvara, nature of Jagat also. May you recognize that. That is the Ekavakyata, it is the one Tatparyam of all Upanishads. But suppose you are just starting out, suddenly Upanishad will give one Upasana. And after that Upanishad will give some Jnana Vakyas. Then again some Upasana is given. In fact, Brihadaranyaka and Chandogya Upanishad, if you study, the most of the Upanishad is Upasana only. Here and there you will find Jnana context, Jnana Khandas. So you may conclude, if you do not know how to look at Shastra properly, you may conclude, meditation upon Omkara or meditation upon Saguna Brahma is the purport of the Shastra, is the message of the Shastra. You may arrive at it like that. And you read another Upanishad, some sadhanas are given, you may think that sadhana is the purport of the Upanishad. No. But with the Shankara Bhashyas, if you go through Bhagavad Gita, Upanishads and Brahma Sutra finally, you will understand, not that you have to study all the three. Just you start with something, you will only have the understanding that all Upanishads are giving out one and the same messages. All Shastras are only talking this alone, nothing else. So you won't get deviated. So many people come to Vedanta and get deviated into something else. They start learning astrology. They came for moksha. Then they became astrologers. Nothing wrong with astrologers. But look at your life. You came with so much punya, finally you landed into a gurukulam, finally you landed into a guru. But then you learned some Sanskrit and used it for astrology. Whole purpose goes away. And the person doesn't want to take help of the guru, the person wants to keep exploring on his own. You may come across, everybody may have one friend like that, who might have read some English translations of some Upanishads and Bhagavad Gita or Mahabharata, this, that, they will be arguing with you. One perspective they will hold on to and they will keep arguing with you. This is how it is, this is how it is, this is how it is. Why? Because it is, full analysis is not made. Full study is not undertaken. And especially Bhagavad Gita, if you simply independently get hold of a translation, it could be Pujya Swamiji's translation only, but you simply keep on reading just direct translations, you will find that what is Gita talking? Appa Krishna, finally you tell something. What should I do? You seem to be telling Karma Yoga, you seem to be telling Bhakti, you seem to be telling Upasana, you seem to be telling Jnanam. you are giving values, and along with that, so many people are only stuck to the context of war. Why war? Why did Krishna tell to do war? That only you are stuck up with. So you never understand what is the purport of the Shastra. So Upanishad is beautifully telling, just as there are different colors of cows, so the Shastras approach, each Shastra, each text will approach the same reality from one standpoint. Few prakriyas, one prakriya or two prakriyas. So, but just as the color of the milk is one, the essence of every Upanishad, the essence of the entire Bhagavad Gita is one. Tattvamasi. That is the purport of all the Shastras. This is what Adi Shankaracharya ji, throughout the Bharat, he travelled to make people understand that this is the purport of Shastra. Rituals are a stepping stone. You must have rituals also, but they are a stepping stone. You must have temple worship, but that is a stepping stone. You must have all these elements, fine, but the final purport, finally what is Shastra saying, you must follow majorly, right? For that alone, he established all this, he established through many debates this Advaita Tattva. He established all of it. But today, in the name of Shankaracharya, Adhyayanam only doesn't happen. Adhyayanam, Adhyapanam doesn't happen. All that is done is puja. That's all. Puja starts with puja, ends with puja. Starts with puja, ends with puja. There is no occasion for acharyas also to teach or share anything. All that people again are obsessed with seems to be Purva Mimamsa Karma Kanda. Nobody seems to be interested in learning or gaining anything. Puja is very easy, no? See, give some money and they will do it, and they will give you prasadam. You go to the temple, they will put mala on you, some shawl or something, and then give you prasadam. Over. Very easy to do. Jnanam means you have to analyze your life. You have to spend some time in Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasanam. So difficult. So like what is this in today's, I'm not getting the term, you don't do it, you give it for somebody. Outsource. You outsource everything, no? Cleaning is outsourced, shopping is outsourced, everything like that. Now puja is also outsourced. Before they had to sit and do puja. Puja is also outsourced. How you just give your name and Gotram, Nakshatram and this thing, done. We are not talking about you. Vedantins also do pujas. Everyday pujas is there. That's why we have a temple at our ashram. Otherwise we wouldn't have had if we didn't want that. So it should be there. I told you everything should have its place and there must be a place for everything. But then people have mistaken the tatparyam of the Shastra, the essence of Shastram to be karma. They also underwent the same inquiry of the Shastra, but unfortunately they seem to have only stuck at the level of rituals, nothing else. So that becomes a very difficult problem. So these Swamis will have to deal with occasions like this. So people will come, Swamiji, Kumbhabhishekam, you only have to come, you only have to do. Okay, fine. But will you arrange satsang every evening? Then only I will come. Otherwise I won't come. I put a condition. Then they'll say, okay, fine, Swamiji. You come, we will arrange talks, and then you do Kumbhabhishekam, also fine. Okay, some other temple program, puja. Okay, puja, I will come. But evening should be Bhagavad Gita talk, then only I will come, otherwise I won't come. Okay, Swamiji. Evening will be Bhagavad Gita talk. That's how we have to put effort where to establish the Ekavakyata, Tatparyam of the Shastra is in moksha, is in jnanam, not just all the time indulged in puja. Very essential, puja. Puja Swamiji always used to say, when there is a Kayika karma involved, it gives some depth to your bhakti, the expression. Because you take the flower, you put it, you put the water, you offer, you clean. So you are expressing the love, the reverence. There is an altar to express it, that becomes more concrete, and that becomes a possibility for you to purify your mind and heart. Very essential. But for some people, they will not be able to even listen to the one vakya of Bhagavad Gita also. All that they can do is only chant probably something and do puja. You see, the irony is, everybody, all the puja people will do the pujas to Lord Krishna. So much puja, so much alankaram, so much bhogam. But the same words of the Lord, we are not having any interest. You are having interest to the Lord, Shri Krishna. But what he has said in Gita, no interest at all. It's like calling somebody to your home and giving all the foods and not at all talking to him, not at all listening to what that person has to talk. Isn't it like that? We don't want. Majority there doesn't want to hear what Krishna has said or anything. We are interested in putting naivedyam and taking that and eating it. That's all. That's all we are used to. What Krishna has said, no, nobody wants to know. What Rama has said in Ramayana, no, we don't want to know. We are enough Sita Kalyanam if we do. Kalyanam. Already enough Kalyanams are there. Every 6 months these priests will invent new Kalyanam. Okay? This Kalyanam over, that Kalyanam over, Girija Kalyanam, came some other Radha Kalyanam, something Kalyanam. Because this culture is so obsessed with marriage. Kalyanotsavam, because you can eat wedding food, that's all. Ultimately, you eat the wedding food. That's all, it's the focus. No. The Upanishad is telling that may your focus be on the essence of all scriptures. All Upanishads are trying to give a message, and that like the different cows are of different color, this milk is just as milk is one and white in color. Upanishad is telling Shiravat Pashyeta Jnanam Linginastu Gavamyatha. So may you understand that the scriptures which are compared to cows now are of different types. And if you see Puranas have their own way of conveying the truth. They have the symbolic message. They use tremendous amount of symbolism to convey the same Vedantic message. But if you get stuck to the external capsule of Puranas, you will be like, what is happening? What is happening? How much ever big scholar you can be, you can never establish simply word meaning of Puranas and literally what their meaning. You cannot make sense out of it. They are like that. But then essentially what is the Purana saying? I have some allergy today, so please bear with it. So today, so the Puranic messages are like that. This has to be appreciated so that you don't lose your focus. Don't get confused anywhere during your Shastra Adhyayana. Anywhere you seem to have a confusion, you don't conclude. Stay with it. Cross-check with your other students, or if the Acharya is available, teacher is available, go through the teacher. Definitely, teacher will show you the way to look at that. All Upanishads, all Shastras are giving one same message. Moving further, this particular shloka, 20th shloka, is not exactly in the Anushtup Chandas, so we will just read it. Ghritamiva pashyasi nigudham bhute bhute vasati vijnanam Satatam manthaitavyam manasa manthana bhutena घृतम इव पश्यसि निगूढ़म भूते भूते सॉरी घृतम इव पयसि निगूढ़म भूते भूते वसति विज्ञानम सततं मंथयितव्यम मनसा मंथान भूतेन घृतम इव पयसि निगूढ़म. So just as the butter or the ghee is hidden in the milk, bhute bhute vasati vijnanam. So in every being, every object, in everyone, there is underlying consciousness. There is Sachidananda Atma, which is all pervasive, is ever present. Just as you need to undergo some process in order to notice that butter or ghritam, that ghee in the milk, by just naked eyes it will not be visible that there is butter and ghee in the milk. You can never notice. So similarly, with just this dualistic vision with the sense organs, if you look around in bhute bhute, you never find Atma Chaitanya. You never find anything except for the utilitarian value in the lens of Ragadvesha. You see different things. You can never notice the underlying reality. But with the Shastra Pramana, with the help of the Shastra, you can now have the appreciation of that principle of existence and consciousness which is limitless, which is the underlying reality of the whole universe. Bhute bhute vasati vijnanam. In every object, that couple of exercises we did, that what you are essentially noticing is the easiness. But then the mind immediately superimposes nama and rupa on that easiness, and you only have the drishti of an object. First, what you experience is the easiness only. What is the easiness. But then our focus goes only into the nama rupa. Thus, even though butter and ghee that is there in the milk is so obvious for one who knows how to extract or how to see it, this becomes obvious for a jnani, for a person who has undergone the Vedanta study. Satatam manthayitavyam. And how do you come to recognize this reality? How do you come to recognize this reality? Some effort is involved. But what is the modern day attitude? You want everything without any effort. You want everything but without any effort. I should sit at home, all the vegetables should come. And modern culture supports that also. Everything, the big basket will come and deliver at your home. Without cooking, we want food. Okay, Swiggy, Dunzo. So one youngster was very fond of Swami, and he was coming and meeting Swamiji and all that, and he saw that people were getting food for Swamiji and this and that. And one day he called, Swamiji, I also want to send Bhiksha to you. Can you tell me what you want on Zomato? I said, no, you ask your mother to cook something and you bring it. No, that modern also we can't change. So, we are used to consuming or wanting and getting things without any efforts. But reality of life is, without effort, what do you get? What do you get in life without prayatna? Nothing you get. Effort is involved. But then we are ready to invest a lot of effort when we want to earn money and gain money. That seems to be the only avenue where we are ready to put effort. But what about antakarana shuddhi? What about freedom? Gaining freedom doesn't come without a fight, doesn't come without effort. So that is represented by mantayitavyam. Shastra is telling you should constantly churn your mind, manasa manthana bhutena. And for this churning, in order to extract the butter out of the buttermilk or the milk, what you must use? They use a churning rod, and there is a lot of effort there. Continuously it is turning and twisting and all of that, and because of that effort the butter comes to surface. That butter which was ever present, ghritam which was ever present, finally that butter has to be processed and finally it becomes the ghee. So ghritam is ghee also. In some connotations in Shastra, ghritam is referred to as butter also. So you can take both the meaning. So Taittiriya Samhita says ghritam vai ayuhu. So in limited quantity, in small quantity, ghee becomes a medicine. Not the way the modern society consumes, liters and liters of this thing. So Swami Tattvavidananda ji came from a big Vaidika lineage. So his ancestors were great scholars and great Shastris who have won. His Swamiji's Purvashrama father has also won President Award for his scholarship in Sanskrit. That big of traditional scholars. So Swamiji was telling, when they were children and all that, when big homas with all the correct mantras, with all correct madi and paddhati, everything used to happen with Jyotisha, every correct time, the ghee was very limitedly offered into the fire in drops. But today if you go, my God, the way they pour the ghee, you get afraid. As though something is burning somewhere. So small quantity, right way of doing everything. Just because something is more available, you can't pour whatever you want into the homa, in the fire. So just as this butter and ghee are hidden in milk and some effort is involved in order to extract it, a seeker should constantly put satatam manthayitavyam. Satatam. Every day one has to put forth effort in the direction of Shravana, Manana and Nididhyasana to recognize the most obvious, which is the Atma Chaitanya, Very beautiful illustration the Shastra is giving. Jnana netram samadaya Chodare tvannivatparam Nishkalam nischalam shantam Tad brahmahamiti smritam. Now Upanishad is making use of another. So you see, these are all traditional example, very coinciding with the Vedic society, where they had such simple lifestyle. They were in so much touch with the nature, and everybody used to have cows, self-sustained, grow something, partake, pray to Bhagavan morning and evening or 3 times, and offer ahutis into the Agni, take care of the children, take care of the village, take care of everybody. So again, one more traditional example the Shastra is giving, that in the olden days, when a fire ritual has to be conducted, even now also, many ashrams or many places, they do Agni Manthana. So there will be a arani and a particular apparatus, a wooden apparatus, where there will be a base and a churning rod type of a stick, and One more priest will be putting some more pressure from the top also, and one person will be churning that particular rod, vigorously churning that rod, and there, because of the friction of this wooden rod with the wooden base, spark of fire comes out, and that is captured in cotton or darba grass, and then that is taken to the Agni Kundam, and that fire is kindled, and then it becomes the fire with which you start the ritual. That is the traditional way of starting the fire ritual. Now Upanishad is telling, Jnana netram samadhaya chodaret vanhivat param. So, holding on to the rope or the thread of inquiry, holding on to the thread called inquiry. What is that thread which is used to churn that wooden rod? It is compared to the self-knowledge or the inquiry, the Shastra Shravana Manana Nididhyasana, that is represented, and one should bring out Brahman. How? Just as the fire is brought out by all this effort, all this effort leads to the fire coming out. Similarly, you must understand, you must recognize Brahman, Atma Tattva by putting forth effort into Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasana. And if you put this effort, if you put this constant effort, what do you come to? You come to Nishkalam, Nishchalam, Shantam. You recognize your own self to be that Nishkalam Brahma, that without any divisions, without any parts. Nishchalam, that which doesn't move at all, that which does not change. That changeless element is recognized through our Shastric study, and you recognize that real Shanti is in this limitless self alone. In nothing else is Shanti. We are constantly searching for Shanti in limited. All that is limited, which starts with time and ends with time, can never give you Shanti. It can seemingly give you Shanti and leaves you Ashanta. It leaves you Ashanta. The real Ananda, real Shanti is only in Atma Swarupa, in Atman, not in the Nama Rupas. You're never at peace of mind. You see, we go on accumulating and accumulating and accumulating. Like one of our friends, campers, was giving the example. To watch the house you put security, to watch the security you use something else, you go on adding, but never the basic insecurity, Ashanti, never leaves. It seems as though the greater is the accumulation, greater is the fear. It seems like that. It should not have been like that. In fact, greater is the accumulation, greater should be your comfort, inner security. That you should have been comfortable with that. You have accumulated a lot more than what others have, so you must have been secure. No. You see, all those people extremely superstitious, extremely fearful, all extremes, because they have never looked at infinite. They are always engaged with finite. All the time when engagement with finite is there, you never notice Shanti. You never notice Shanta Swarupa. So you recognize that Tad Brahma, Tad Nishkalam Brahma, Tad Nishchalam Brahma, Tad Shantam Brahma, Ahamiti Smritam, Tad Brahma Aham Asmi. Tad Brahma Aham iti Smritam. May you understand this Brahman, that you recognize your own Swarupa through all this inquiry. Now own it up. Now you own it up. Sometimes this owning up, Puja Swamiji and many of our acharyas use this expression, very important expression, we don't own up. We don't own up what we have got. In Laukika lifestyle also, we don't own up. See, having done an insurance, you must be secure, no? You're still insecure. Health insurance over, car insurance is there anyways, and many other insurances are there. Yet insecurity hasn't lost because you have not even owned up the insurance. The insurance you did for your own security, you have not even owned it up. Or you want to surrender to the higher, you want to surrender to the Bhagavan as your insurance, because Shri Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Yoga Kshemam Vahamyaham. You surrender on to me, I will take care of your Yoga Kshema. That also we don't do. There also we don't have commitment. In fact, LIC of India borrowed that line, Yoga Kshemam Vahamyaham, from Bhagavad Gita, and put it and saying that you get insured from us and we will take care of your Yoga Kshema. Arey, okay bhaiya, you do an insurance of how much ever you want, at least now be secure, now be Shanta. No, we can't. Because we have not even owned up our insurance. And what to talk about? One's own true nature as Sachidananda, Atma Sachidananda Brahma. We own up our things. When you start owning up for whatever you are in Vyavaharik also, then finally it should lead to Paramarthika owning up of this knowledge. It's not that you don't know. Many people's problem is this. They have attended many camps, they have attended many satsangs. Still, the owning up doesn't come. You consider yourself as this papoham papakarmanam papatma, that only is the orientation. Only during the camp in the lecture hall is all the jnanam. So, but your orientation is that only. No. Do all your transactions, do all your activities only with the background of this jnanam. So life needs to change in order to own up. No, you can be in the same lifestyle. Nothing needs to be changed. Yet you can own up this knowledge. With the background understanding, approach life. I am of the nature of the fullness. I am the meaning of the word satisfaction. I am not looking for satisfaction in anything. I am not looking for happiness in anything. Out of Ananda, I do everything. See, this is the only approach should change. What you do in life need not change. Ajnani does everything for the sake of happiness. Why does a Jnani do something? For the sake of happiness. Jnani does everything. In fact, more than what regular people may be doing. Out of what? For the sake of happiness? No. Out of happiness. Out of fullness. Why do you do this? Out of Ananda. A Laukika, for the sake of happiness. They want to extract all the possible happiness from the world. If they don't get it, they remain frustrated. Why does a Jnani never gets frustrated? Because Tulya Ninda Stuti Mauni. So he is not giving any importance to praise or censure. The same people who praise you may censure you also some other time. So a Mahatma, a Jnani is never worried about that, because the focus is not that at all. Out of happiness, that Mahatma is doing something. Not for anything, not for the purpose of anything. So all of us, every one of you can implement this attitude. Do something. You need to do whatever karmas, duties are there. Relate with your daughter, relate with your son, daughter-in-law, son-in-law, whatever. What needs to be done needs to be done. For the sake of happiness, there will definitely be disturbance in the house. Because you are looking for your happiness in daughter-in-law, person may give or not give. You are looking for your happiness in sun, may or may not give. Looking for ananda in hotels, might come, might not come. Then you are angry, frustrated if dosa is not as per your taste. So, what needs to be done? Recognize this Nishkalam, Nishchalam, Shantam, Brahma as Aham, Aham Brahmasmi, as I amness, as the essence of I amness. Thus you recognize this your own Swarupa. You are operating from that deep place of serenity, deep place of Swarupananda. Like an ocean, you become like an ocean. Something is added to your life, nothing changes in the ocean. Few rivers get added into the ocean, does anything happen to the ocean? No, nothing. In summer some water dries up, some river doesn't come. Does anything change in the ocean? No. You are that ocean-like consciousness, ocean-like awareness. Plus or minus of anything doesn't affect you at all. Finally, Upanishad is summing up the entire vision of Shastra in one verse and concluding, Sarvabhutadhivasam yat Bhuteshu cha vasatyapi Sarvanugrahakatvena Tadasmyaham Vasudevah. Tadasmi aham Vasudevaha. This Upanishad is concluding, saying that Sarvabhuta Adhivasam Yat, that which is an abode of all beings, that which is abode of all beings, that I am. I am that Sat, I am that Chit, I am that Ananda. In this consciousness alone, everything is appearing, everything is disappearing. Now you leave the world perspective that we are used to. Purely analyze from your own subjective experience, from your own standpoint. Okay, you are aware of your existence, and that existence is limitless. So in this background, in backdrop, back screen of consciousness, isn't it everything just coming and going? All thoughts, all namarupas, every cognition is happening and it is disappearing. Everything is coming, everything is for some time and it goes again, it may come, but you are there. In you, everything is happening. Everything is happening. The world as you see is not really outside. The world as you see, as you experience, is here and now. In you, you are the basis of all these cognitions. You are ever present. In your screen alone, everything is coming and going. So you, the Sachidananda Atma, is the basis, is the abode of all beings, is the abode of all beings. This Sat, not as this body, mind, sense complex. What abode? I can't even keep few things properly. So what abode? So in this vast screen of consciousness, all beings are. All beings are. Just as in the vast canvas called gold, all ornaments exist. All ornament exists. So in the same way, in this consciousness, in this limitless consciousness, all cognitions are happening, all the objects are being cognized, they are there and they go back. So you as the Sat, you as the principle of existence, consciousness and limitless, is the canvas on which the entire Nama Rupa Prapancha is standing. When you come for the further camps in our Gurukulams. So further clarity is given in this aspect. Sarvanugrahakatvena, and this sat, this chit, this ananda is the hetu for everyone, is for all anugraha. So anugraha meaning what here? He is giving the ground for everything to exist. That is the anugraha. That is the anugraha. So Upanishad is concluding, I am that Sat which is an abode of all beings, bhuteshu vasati cha api, and I am that one, Vasudeva or Atma Chaitanya, we will come to that. I am that Atma Chaitanya, bhuteshu vasati api. So I am this Atma Chaitanya which is in and through every being also. Just as the gold is there in all the ornaments, you just are changing the standpoint with which you are seeing. Gold being the basis of all Namarupas, or all ornaments are in gold, have their existence in gold. Finally, what? You as the Sachidananda Atma Chaitanya is giving the Satta and Spurti to the entire Jagat. Everything finally is appearing in your consciousness as an object. As an object. You are there as a witness, and you are the one who is giving Satta and Spurti to all of it. And Upanishad is finally recognizing that Sarvanugraha Hetuhu, I am that. Tadasmi aham. I am that source of all blessings. And what is that? Vasudevaha. Vasu means being. Deva means that which is effulgent. So do not here take Vasudevaha as Lord Krishna. It's not talking about Lord Krishna here. Vasudevaha is the word which is designated by the Upanishad for consciousness. The easiness is represented by Vasu, and the Dyautana, and the effulgence, the awareness principle is represented by Devaha. So I am that Vasudevaha. Now you see how confusing the Upanishad could be. You could easily take it as Krishna. So I am that Krishna. I am that Krishna. The Krishna is the one who is in and through all beings. Yes, in a certain context of Upasana, where we are getting involved in Bhagavata Purana or something, we can definitely look upon the whole vision in this way. But no, here the Upanishad's commitment is to show the Nirguna Nirakara Brahmavastu. So I am that Sat and Chit which is in and through all organisms, in and through all beings, giving the Satta and Spurana. I am that Aham Brahmasmi. I am that Brahman. Upanishad is not mincing words, is not very straight vision Upanishad is giving, that it gave a lot of background also for us to understand the purport of the Shastra, purport of the Upanishad. Finally, concluding in saying that I am that consciousness, the changeless element in all changes, and I am the one who is in and through all these Namarupas. I am the basis of everything. Aham Brahma Asmi. Aham Brahmasmi. The Upanishad is concluding with a Mahavakya as a hint for us to recognize and abide in the Nirguna Tattva as Nididhyasanam. So the Upanishad started with categorizing the mind into pure and impure and giving us sadhanas to make the mind pure, and Upanishad kept on giving us guidelines to recognize that unchanging element in all changes, Upanishad furthermore took us into the Omkara Upasana and made us look at ourselves as the Avastatraya Sakshi. Upanishad took us further not to get lost in the words of the Shastra, always hold on to the Guru and the purport of the Shastra, and finally, as though the Shruti Mata is leading us by hand to recognize the Nishkala, Nirguna, Nirakara, Atma Chaitanya that I am, the essence of the Sakshi. Once the Upanishad points out our real nature and is ending its Upadesha. Om Bhadram Karnebhih Shrunuyama Devaah Bhadram Pashyemakshabhiryajatraah Sthirairangaistuštuvagum sastanubhih Vyashema Devahitam Yadayuhu Swasti na Indro Vruddhashravah Swasti na Pusha Vishwavedah Swasti nastarksho arishthanemihi Swasti no bruhaspatir dadhatu Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. You can stop. Yeah. So nice, it was nice sharing this vision of AMRITABINDHU Upanishad with all of you. Days passed and became an entire week.